today, but it ended with Omar saying she hung up on Boebert. Boebert took to Instagram to say this afterward.
Make no mistake, I will continue to fearlessly put America first, never sympathizing with terrorists. Unfortunately, Ilhan can't say the same thing.
And Omar releasing a statement saying this, in part, instead of apologizing for her Islamophobic comments and fabricated lies, Congresswoman Boebert refused to publicly acknowledge her hurtful and dangerous comments. So there's that. Out front with me now is Republican Congressman Tom Reed of New York. Congressman, thank you for being here. You know, this really went from ugly to uglier just when you thought that it couldn't get more ridiculous in the House of Representatives. I mean, what do you think of this?
I would agree. I mean, first, obviously, I disagree and condemn the kind of comments that were made by my colleague in Congress towards a fellow colleague on the other side of the aisle. But you're absolutely right. This is a pox on all of our houses. And I would just tell you, this rhetoric, this type of commentary has to stop. We need to focus on the American people and solving their problems. That's got to be the mission. But these types of rhetoric exchanges are very disappointing.
And look, I mean, you disagree vehemently with many of Ilhan Omar's policies, and you don't have to like Omar's politics to get this right, just as you just did. I mean, Boebert's a flamethrower and clearly doesn't care. But this is, as you're getting at, this is bigger than her. It speaks to kind of a larger, more insidious problem of if you allow this type of behavior to slide, if you try not to give it oxygen or attention, Congressman, hasn't the last Congress shown that it only gets worse?
I would agree that you have to confront this, but you have to look at the bigger picture here too, like you're articulating. This is the institution of Congress. This is the people's house, and we have to respect each other. We can disagree. I'm a proud Republican. I know colleagues on this side who are proud Democrats, but it doesn't mean we go into that chamber not united as Americans first. We are American citizens that should be working together as opposed to engaging in what could be called antics of a high school level nature at times.
It speaks to the definition, or what you think the definition of leadership is. And Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader, he's spoken privately with Boebert. There is a lot of reporting about that, but he has not said anything publicly about her anti-Muslim comments. What does your vision of a leader in the Republican Party do in this situation?
Well, I think when you're in a position of leadership, you have to stand up. You have to deal with it. I appreciate the fact that Kevin called our colleague directly, discussed the matter with her. But at some point in time, you also have to stand up and just call it out for what it is. This type of rhetoric cannot be condoned. It cannot be upheld. But at the end of the day, too, you have to recognize that there's pox on everyone's houses here historically. We have degraded to a point in the institution of Congress where there's a level of hatred I've never felt before. And we have to get over it, and we have to lead the nation, and we have to have leadership that says, you know what, we're going to disagree,